Every time makes me laugh.
East Coast Horror Group.
They're here.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
East Coast Horror Group presents Dead Art Movie Reviews.
Salutations and mutilations. You're listening to the East Coast Horror Group presents Dead On Movie Reviews. Tonight, we will present horror movie reviews and lively debate here on EastCoastHorrorGroup.com and on future select Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join our live chat at the time by clicking on the live shows link at the EastCoastHorrorGroup.com website. It's 50-50 if we actually get it to work. But I forgot how much I enjoy getting the show started. And we are getting things started right now. I'm your host, Tim Kretschmann, coming to you from the east coast of Lake Michigan. And by the way, I found out watching Facebook today that today is Ed Gonzalez's birthday. So I thought I'd bring a fashion accessory and put that on right here. So happy birthday to him. Okay, we're going to get things started.
You look like if Hulk Hogan had Down syndrome.
Hey, brother. Anyway. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Hey! Okay.
Mean Gene's dead, alright?
Hulk Hogan.
He died.
Yes, Mean Gene.
R.I.P.
He was always one of my favorites. And I remember him from AWA days. Being in this part of the culture. So,
I remember him being old as fuck. How is he still alive ever?
He's not.
All right, we're going to introduce the rest of the team, such as they are. We're going to start with, at conventions, he drinks till he's blotto. He's the meat in the Love Sac. He's Mr. Rich Dalzotto. Catch him on Otherworldly Culture Radio, coming back to the East Coast Horror Group website. Hello, Rich.
Hello.
Fantastic to hear from you again. It's been far, far too long. Next, I introduce our gingerific co-host that prefers to go by the name Little Baby Drew Face Puss-Puss Seidler. It's Drew.
Hey, Tim, thanks for the introduction there.
You are so welcome, sweetie.
Never call me sweetie again.
Had to do
That
it.
caught me out of nowhere. That was great.
All right. And finally, the band they called the face of Jace and a sincere zombie apologist. It's the man of two voices. It's Coach Michael Exler, the Dean of Students. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
I am fantastic. We're still getting the studio back in shape here from being quiet for far, far too long. But we are back, and it's time to get unruly with the Faculty of Fear. You know, we didn't talk about before the show exactly what order we're going to go in. Rich, you're in a safe spot, right? So why don't we start with Rich? Are you ready there, Rich?
Probably.
Okay, so we're going to start with Rich. Rich, what have you been watching?
What was it?
For this show, I watched Summer of '84, which was a, if you have the Shudder channel, it was, I believe, a Shudder exclusive. They have originals and exclusives. Do any of you guys have the Shudder channel?
I do have Shudder.
It's the best $5 I spend each month.
Really?
It really is. The lineup of films is great. But anyway, movie came out last year. Quickly, it's an hour and 45-minute movie. Pretty much a cast of no names, which doesn't affect the movie at all. Might actually help make it better. The only known actor, I can't think of his name right now, and I left my notes in the car.
Nice.
The guy who was on Mad Men and Glow. I think the actor's name's Tom Steeman or something like that. Anyway,
He's a giant superstar.
is he?
Just like me.
I never heard of this guy.
But, well, for this movie, he's the superstar.
Okay.
So, anyway, as the title tells you, it's the summer of '84.
Okay.
Four high school teenage friends, killing time in the summer like boys do. And, this movie went with that kind of... It seems like a lot of the films of this type go with four friends. I don't know if it's to get all the personality types in or what it is.
I was one.
What?
I was one
You were one?
in the summer of '84.
Oh, nice. I was 12.
4.
But anyway, this movie, first you might as well focus on the fact that it is a period piece, if you will.
What the fuck?
It doesn't. It does a pretty good job of making it feel like it's 1984. You can tell they didn't have a huge budget. If you want to nitpick, there's things that you could look at and say, "Oh, this isn't 80s." But overall, they did a pretty good job of setting that atmosphere. And I thought the actors, the boys, they portrayed, as a kid who was 12 and close to the same age as them in '84. They kind of acted and talked the way that I remember my friends and I spending our time. So that was cool. The movie itself revolves around the one boy believing that a serial killer that's been on the loose for the last year or so is living in their neighborhood, and it's a series of events of them following this person, trying to get into his house, things of that nature. And more than anything, it's more of a suspense film than a horror film for the first hour and 30 minutes, and then you get in the last 15, 20 minutes, it kind of becomes a little bit more horror, but overall I would call this more suspense than horror. Probably drags on a little longer than it needs to. They should have made it a 90-minute movie. But overall, the suspense is good. When you do find out who the serial killer of the movie is, it's predictable, but they take it to the next level then once he is revealed, and that's probably the best part of the movie. That's really about it. Good movie. I would check it out. Definitely would check it out if you have Shudder or feel like buying a DVD or Blu-ray. I don't think it did in the movie houses, did it?
Now, is it 1984 accurate that you can remember? Like, the phone, right, was the shit, right?
Most of it was. There's little things, like I said, if you want to nitpick, you could nitpick, but overall, if you just kind of immerse yourself in the movie and enjoy it, it'll feel like 1984. The clothing, the things that they talk about, the way they decorated the houses, for the most part, is 1984. There's just a few things that you might notice that you'd be like, that's 90s or beyond, but not much.
Okay. Well, I think it's really hard to do period pieces that are semi-recent because it's so easy to miss something,
Right.
Okay.
I do something all times.
But definitely a fun movie. I didn't feel like I wasted my time. The only criticism I would have is it dragged on just a touch too long.
Okay. So it could use a trip to the editing bay.
Just
As they say.
Yeah, that's what they say, as they say. Are you ready to give a grade?
Yeah, I'm willing to give this a grade.
I'm willing to.
Okay, give me a second to set that up. All right, so the movie Summer of '84. What would you grade this film?
I will give it a solid B.
A solid B.
Yeah, and the only reason it didn't get a little bit higher was probably more. I went into it thinking it was going to be horror, and it was more suspense than horror.
Okay. But a solid grade nonetheless. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Rich.
Hey, thanks for listening to me.
We're off to a good start. So why don't we shoot ourselves in the feet? And we'll go directly to Drew.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate the the vote of confidence there.
You're welcome. I am confident it's going to take a downward turn from here. Here is Drew. What have you been watching?
Well, Tim, I watched the 2017 film Downrange. Also saw this on Shudder, and would also recommend Shudder. I just honestly, I found myself on Netflix just looking at horror movies and like sci-fi and movies like that anyway. So why not just spend half the amount of money? Anyways,
Okay. I feel like we should be having them as a sponsor, given what I'm hearing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So yes, Downrange 2017. IMDb gives it 5.4 out of 10. So, just I figure I should preface it with that. Anyways, the director, and I don't know how to say their name properly. I'm sure I'll butcher it. Ryuhei Kitamura is the same person that directed a WWE film that was a surprising, diamond in the rough. That called No One Lives. Mike, I think that you remember this film.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah,
The
it
movie
was
was
better.
legit, man.
It
Yeah.
was better than it needed to be.
So when I found out that he was the director of this, I was kind of excited to check it out. So it is basically just your average kids in a truck in the middle of nowhere movie. Sniper hits them in the tire, and they have to survive sniper fire. There's no real story really. Other than that, they try to shoehorn some stuff in there. But you figure when you have a set like that that's so wide open, it's just a desert and a car and a sniper and a few people. A couple of things have to happen. You either have to have really great characters and develop, deep storylines with these people so you care about them, or it's probably going to shit its pants. Other movies that are like this, what do I think of? Splinter, that I just saw recently, Phone Booth, right? It's all very tense all the time. And I thought this movie kept up the tension as well as it could. There's obviously was no budget to this. The acting wasn't great. I'll say that right away.
Kind of
But-
sounds like Phone Booth a little bit. Did you ever
Yeah.
say that one? Yeah.
I literally did say that like 20 seconds ago.
But it. Well, I'm not listening.
Phone Booth.
It's
Colin
hard.
Farrell, I think, was the newest
Yeah,
one.
was Farrell and
Will Ferrell-
wasn't Kiefer Sutherland like the voice on the phone or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was Bobcat Goldthwait was the voice.
I think he answered the phone, and this is what he heard.
I can't wait to fuck your feet.
Well,
I mean, who wouldn't
pretty
want to hear
sure.
that on movie around, really?
I'm pretty sure. So,
Um,
how long was this movie?
90 minutes. So for what it was, I thought it was a little bit too long. How many times can you try to come up with ways to, give a distraction so you can try to get away from the sniper? Because you really hiding behind a truck for an entire movie, trying to figure out different ways to get out of it, right? The ending does pick it up a little bit. I thought that the ending was good. But, there's no ends tied up. You don't know who the sniper is ever. Anything like that. There's really no story behind that. It's just because you were there kind of a thing.
Okay.
But yeah, it is kind of bleak in the end. I don't want to ruin it in case people want to check it out. But
I do want to see it.
Yeah,
yeah, so
relatively
definitely thumbs up on that. I don't think it deserves a 5.4 like IMDb gave it. I thought it was surprisingly well put together for the
Oh,
budget.
okay, we're getting into grading here. Let me set up. Hold on.
Oh no, not the grade.
All right, movie is Downrange, and you watched it on Shudder. What
did.
is your grade?
Not as good as No One Lives, but still better than I had any right to be, I think. Again, I'll give it a B minus.
B minus. There it comes. B minus. Well, fantastic. This one interests me, but I wanted to check the runtime before I saw it, because the concept sounds like it would play itself out.
There's some good gore and good special effects, practical effects. So, yeah, I mean, lots of blood. There's more blood and guts than you would think. It's a cool ride.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time now Oh, yep, the bell's rung. It's time to move on to Mike. Mike, what did you watch for tonight's show?
Watch 2018's Hellfest. I think, Tim, you saw this?
I did. I saw it at the cinema house when it came out.
That's right, it did have a small release.
Theatrical run. I might have actually even reviewed it on here. I can't remember.
You did? That's right, you did. I do remember.
Yeah. So
don't
why
remember.
don't you sum up the movie for those that don't know? Because I think this is one of those movies that came and went so quickly. Not everybody knew that it even came out, you know.
I've never heard of this.
No, it was, it's pretty
Who's
good.
yawning into the microphone?
That would be me.
Yeah, well, Drew, now you're done, so you should wake back up.
So, a group of friends goes to a amusement park, really. That's turned into a Halloween event, sort of like Kennywood does here locally, and I'm sure other amusement parks around the
Every
country.
amusement park ever, yeah.
But okay, I'm gonna stop you there because the trailer shows that too. But it's unlike I've gone to a lot of these Halloween events. You know, Halloween weekends. We have Fear Fest here locally. I don't know what Kennywood. What did they do? The Scream Time or something like that. But
Yep, scream time.
yeah, Scream
I
Time.
just,
With
I think
was
it's
it
just
again?
Haunted Kennywood, isn't it?
Haunted Kennywood. Okay,
Kenny weird.
but this seemed
Kennywood.
far more involved than those. It seemed more to me like they took some abandoned theme park and it was like one of those events that they usually have out on in a farm or something, and a haunted house. It was like a weird mix. Because I didn't always feel like it was an amusement park. I don't know. It kind of confused me.
A little hard to do, though, to be fair.
That is fair, yeah. But it was a neat setup for the movie. Okay, I'll let you go again. I'm sorry.
I think it was far more elaborate than you're going to get at a lot of amusement parks around the country.
Yeah.
Because of this movie. So there's some teen drama, or I don't know. I don't even know if they were fucking high school or not. Maybe they were college. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Right.
There's some drama in between them, and a serial killer just decides to show up and blend in with the Halloween setting and just start popping them off one by one. The atmosphere is pretty cool. Like I said, it's definitely a lot more involved than your local amusement park. That shit was really cool.
You know what it felt like to me was a grindhouse type of atmosphere to it. You know, it seemed very grindhouse, very kind of gritty
Yeah, it was.
type
Yeah.
of setup. And even like, okay, how many freaking movies have we seen with a killer that's got a weird mask on and all that? This mask was unusually gritty. You
It was
know,
unnerving to look at. It really was.
and as I recall, wasn't it like a lot of people had that mask, so you weren't even sure which one it was sometimes?
Yeah, there was a point where there was a part that they all had the same mask. There was like 10 of them or something.
Yeah, so you didn't know who the characters were and who the killer was.
The characters?
The
What's that?
characters.
Still what they're calling them nowadays?
The scare actor actually been in the chat room. He does that. I think they like to be called haunt actors, but characters I think is what they say at Universal. I can't remember which one said characters.
That's all stupid.
There was one guy that was kind of like the lead guy, not Tony Todd, because Tony Todd's voice was all over this thing. But there was one guy.
Buried my lead.
There was one guy that looked like the guy from Death Race, or no, not Death Race, Blood Drive on Sci-Fi. And
That was
he
a
had
creepy
that
secret.
whole look.
Mario Lopez.
Mario.
He's talking about Mario Lopez, guys.
Of course. Okay,
I was listening.
I'm sorry, I interrupted a bunch of times.
That's all right.
That happens on the show.
So, there's nobody really of any mention in this film other than Tony Todd.
Right.
I'm looking, and I don't see anybody else. I thought it was just going to be his voice the entire time going through the loudspeaker, but they actually showed him at the end.
Yeah, there were, but even though there were no name actors, it felt like these were better than the usual actors that we get in horror movies, because a lot of times we get the bottom rung actors thrown in there. They all seem like the CW could hire any one of them to be on one of the superhero TV shows, or they seem like they could go on and make more mainstream stuff if they want.
They were all very capable actors.
Maybe they'll reboot Dawson's Creek with these people.
Fuck yes.
Is that the song?
I need to make sure I record stuff like that for our album.
I'll sing it whenever you want me to, man. No big deal.
With you singing it, it wouldn't be a big deal. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
I like the atmosphere of the film. There were some hokey parts. But all in all, it was something that I would like to attend. It was fun. But the kills were actually decent. There are actually times, like Tim said, it was actually very menacing, this dude. And the kills all were decent.
They set up good suspense in those. Like, in too many slashers, it's like the victim hears one little noise, they turn, and it's like, bang, they're killed and it's over. That didn't happen in this one, really. It was always like something, and then there was a move, and then there was this happens, and then this happens. It was always like multiple steps until they got killed, which was good because you could feel the tension build. There was suspense. I saw it with a very small audience, but the audience was into it. I thought they enjoyed it. I didn't hear any snoring like I did in Hereditary.
Mike, did you see it with an audience?
Fuck you.
No, I saw it with myself and Geneva and the dogs.
That's also a small audience.
How did dogs feel about it?
They were not fans. They slept the entire time.
There's one scene with a guillotine that I thought was really, really well done.
That one scene with the guillotine made me want to scream.
Oh.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no, that scene was actually really well done. I like that scene. I thought all of them were well done, and I think the silent killer is more appealing than the talky type. I don't know.
This movie fell into that thing that I always talk about with Michael Myers. I think it's scarier when you don't know the motive. And I don't want to spoil anything, but at least through most of the movie, there's no apparent motive. And it isn't the, okay, I'm going to wait until they have sex. Okay, now I'm going to go. Yeah, there's just no reason. He just took a shine to the one girl and started going after her.
Yep. And I actually really like the ending. It was like, it's kind of a whoa, holy fuck type ending.
Oh, that final scene?
Yeah.
That was chilling.
Yeah, like, whoa.
It was chilling, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as woe as The Mist at the end, but it was definitely one of those ends where you go, well, what the hell was this? You know?
Yeah.
You just go, holy cow. Whoa. Yeah. It was unusual. It was unusual.
The ending helped because there were times that I was watching the film and I was like, holy fuck, this feels like a very Scream moment.
The 10 minutes before that particular, the climax of it, that I wasn't as big of a fan of. I wasn't as big of a fan. And then they put that twist, and I went, okay, I'm back in. A twist!
A twist.
Oh, man.
I like magic songs.
All right.
I mean, we all do, really, huh?
So is it time to grade?
I'll grade it, baby.
Okay, wait for the bell. There you go. What do you grade last year's Hellfest?
I'm going to give it a solid B. I enjoyed the film. I thought it was a good outing for these folks.
It was a good outing.
It was
a solid B.
It was proper.
The proper B, then.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Tim, what's your grade? What was your grade on it? Do you remember?
I think it was around. It might have been even higher because I did like it, but as you know, we don't keep track of any of this bullshit.
That's unfortunate.
Wait, what? You don't have a spreadsheet of this?
There is a video of it somewhere. There's a video. I guess somebody could watch the video, but nobody has to date. So.
What video?
The video.
Show when we put out the whatever. You guys
are talking about shunts again?
What the fuck's a shunt?
What?
What is a shunt?
Do you really want to know what a shunt is?
I think we've got enough time on the show, so yeah, go ahead.
A shunt is a tube that they place inside your body from your head into your stomach, and what happens is the overflow of juices that your brain creates that puts pressure on your skull is alleviated by going down this tube and into your stomach, and you pass it. That is a shunt.
Why do they put it in your stomach?
So you can just pass it. Like,
that you poop it.
Yeah, you poop it or pee it. Yeah.
That sounds fucking awful. I hope I never get sick ever. I hope if I'm ever in the hospital and I hear the word shunt, I'm like, Dr. Gunn, just fucking kill me right now.
Oh man, a lot of little people have shunts.
Stop it! I don't even want to think about that. It's so gross.
The pressure.
Their heads are so big.
They can't swim.
You hear that?
Wow.
You hear that?
What the hell is going on over there?
Well, there's a fire alarm. My dog loves to howl at the fire alarm, so it's gonna happen.
That is one of the creepiest things I've ever heard.
Because I think it's adorable.
Drew's giving his dog the reverse shunt.
I'm putting their stomach into their brain fluid.
Listen to that.
You have a wolf?
Hell?
That's my dog, dude.
Oh, really?
What the hell? That is so wrong.
Greta, what are you doing? Come here.
Oh my God.
Here. Oh.
Oh, that's funny. All right, I guess it is time for my film. I gotta hit the bell. There we go. Why did I make such a difficult format when we started the show? Okay, so the movie I saw, and kind of following the tradition we had on the show, it was what I had available for free. In my case, I didn't have Shudder. I have Amazon Prime. Now, when it comes to horror, I would not highly suggest Amazon Prime. That is a pretty shallow pool over there. But I did find a number of shark movies, and then I found this one, and this had an interesting cast. It was very 70s. I thought, this is perfect. This is one of the 10 million movies that came out after Jaws made a ton of money that are the animals run amok genre.
Day of the Animals?
It is called Day of the Animals. Have any of you even heard of this thing before?
I own it every day.
Okay. Here's the story.
What's the story?
I can't even. It's gonna be tough. Okay, it starts with a black screen and a crawl that comes by that says, "This is a shocking vision of things to come. The depletion of the Earth's ozone layer was discovered, and if we do nothing, this is what could happen." It literally says it as you go into the credits. The credits are the typical. It looks like it was a TV movie, but I think it did get theatrically released. The movie is about, to sum it up, animals run amok and attack a group of hikers that are up near the top of a mountain. And the storyline is everything above about 5,000 feet from sea level just goes crazy. Okay? The stars include Christopher George, who was also the star of Grizzly. He did like 4 or 5 of these movies in rapid succession. Linda Day George, who had a little bit of a run in the 70s. She was one of those blonde bombshells at the time. Leslie Nielsen. Before he did comedy, he was a dramatic actor.
Don't call me Shirley.
In this, well, and honestly, sometimes I watch some of his old dramatic roles, and I want to laugh just because, you know, he has that in him. You know that.
That's the same thing with John C. Reilly now, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
He's Professor Buell, and then like you go back and he was in Chicago, and he just got some dark fucking roles in his past.
Oh yeah. But
you see him on Buell's Rules.
Well, Leslie Nielsen is completely not funny in this. I mean, he's actually almost, yeah, he is the antagonist of the movie. He's like a racist rapist ad exec.
Did you say a racist rapist?
A racist rapist, because he's both a racist and he rapes a woman during the film.
Jesus Christ, that might be the worst person that ever existed.
Yeah. Richard Jekyll is in it, and Richard Jekyll is one of those guys that you go, who the hell is that? If I had a photo of him, I could put it up, and you would go, oh, that guy. He was one of those guys that was in a million movies during the 70s. Andrew Stevens, who is Connie Stevens' son.
Oh, of course, Connie Stevens, yeah.
Andrew Stevens, actually, okay, I am going to make another recommendation in the middle of this. Andrew Stevens starred with Charles Bronson in Charles Bronson's best movie by far, called 10 to Midnight. Have you ever seen 10 to Midnight?
Who's Charles Bronson?
You don't know who Charles Bronson is. He was in Death Wish. He was like a 70s action star. Well, he made a lot of movies, and this movie was like a departure from all of his other stuff. He was chasing down a serial killer, and it's a lot like Criminal Minds type of movie. And it's really freaking good. Really good. You have to go check it out. 10 to Midnight. Anyway, it's got, those folks are the stars. Believe me when I tell you, for the 70s, that was like a star. That was a lot of stars to get into a film. They spent some money on this thing. I'm sorry?
How the fuck do I know?
No, Rich.
Oh. Rich isn't here anymore. He fell asleep in his goddamn mattress firm or wherever the fuck it was.
I'm only half asleep, but I did turn the news off. What, Mike?
Was what Tim said true?
About what?
Is it an all-star cast for the 70s?
Well, I was only 5 when this came out, but yes.
Whatever. Okay, so anyway, it's a ton of actors, and most of the actors you only see for a scene or two, except for this main group of hikers. This movie really straddles the line between being a horror movie and a disaster movie, which, again, really, Jaws kind of has that feel, too. It's almost a disaster movie. But the difference here is there's absolutely no mechanical creatures, and there's no suspense. It's like they'll be laying down, sleeping or something, and you see like one shot of a mountain lion, and 2 seconds later, that mountain lion is on the sleeping camper and ripping them to shreds. I mean, it's like boom, boom. No suspense, no, you just know that there's animals all around. You know they could be attacked at any time. However, I will say, this is one of those movies that if you got a group of people that enjoy bad movies, this is one of those movies that actually would be fun. Now, number one, you got the racist rapist Leslie Nielsen in there. Number two, some of these attacks are just hysterical to watch. There is a vulture attack that happens to one of the women where the vultures actually pull her off of a cliff. And it's very entertaining to watch. Then there's a leaping rats attack. This the police chief of the movie, he's in the town that is right about at the 5,000 foot range, and this town is just ravaged by the animals, which I found funny because I visited mountains before, and everybody that lives above 5,000 feet has like 5,000 firearms on them. I'm like, if the animals attack up there, the animals are just going to die. That's what's going to happen. But apparently it ravages the city. But some rats are in the kitchen, and they're eating like a roast or something on the kitchen table. And they start jumping from the kitchen table to his face and biting him on the face. And you can tell that somebody is just off camera tossing mice at this guy.
What?
I'm not kidding. And then he grabs one of the rats, and that's one of the pictures that I keep showing in the rotation. He chops it with a knife, and he's just like throwing rats to the side. He is attacked and injured by a group of about 12 rats. I'm like, dude, just run.
Is this real animal like cruelty kind of stuff? Like no.
Let me tell you. I think the mice, they probably were thrown gingerly at the actor.
Because I was thinking Kelly was throwing mice at him as hard as they could.
No,
and it was amazing in my head.
No, they were trying to land them right on his, like his shirt or something that they could latch on. Everything, all the attacks looked like they were some form of trained animal, because he had a mountain lion. Those are trainable. Now the vultures.
How is a mountain lion trainable? I would never get close enough to a mountain lion to be like, yeah, he's trainable.
Lion tamers, cats of that type. There were.
Hey, would you do that? Would you work with a mountain lion?
No, I'd have a lot of trepidation about it. I wouldn't be real happy.
Roy Horn thought his tigers were trained too, but
those big ass birds.
There were big ass birds. There were a lot of dog attacks or wolf attacks, which I'm like, okay, those are very trainable animals. Right, so, true. But they didn't do it. They could have went the other direction and had mechanical animals all over the place. They didn't do that.
No way, yeah.
Yeah, so. I mean, it was good from that point. It also, again, on Amazon Prime, if you got Prime, it's absolutely free. It's a completely stupid story. It makes no sense. It's bonkers where it goes.
He said it was bonkers, kids.
It's bonkers. It's like at the very, very beginning, you watch the thing. and you're like, okay, if I buy into this ozone layer is causing a virus
That's right, I forgot that was the reason why.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, apparently what happened is the ozone layer cut a hole in it, and some sort of errant virus got all the animals all crazy. And there are attack
That's
scenes.
cool, I guess.
Okay, I did write down a list. Here they are. These are the attack scenes. There are snakes, bears, mountain lions, wolves, dogs, birds, vultures, and rats. But
Rats aren't intimidating to me at all.
I did say snake. I think there was spiders, but I don't remember exactly. I saw some stills of the spiders, and I'm like, I don't remember that scene, so I don't know if that was a deleted scene or I just wasn't looking up or something at that particular moment. I don't know.
Is this like Mondo Cane where they just rip the animals apart for no reason?
No, and it looked like this was. What I think is interesting is they picked a mountain so that they could hold that 5,000 feet. So it was like, okay, this is isolated incident, but also because of the types of animals that are up there, that they could train these animals to attack in different ways, like the bears and the mountain lions. You know,
What about a goat? Did they have any like mountain goats?
they did not have mountain goats. Boy, would those have
That's
been
bullshit.
scary. Would
That would've
those have
been
been
fun.
scary? Yeah, and you know, it's the typical thing too. They're a group of like 15, and of course, there's a rift in the group. Because the racist rapist wants to go one way and
Oh no, I
another
forgot
way.
that happened.
So of course they got to split, which of course just makes them easier for the aminals to attack them. Now,
Stop saying it that way.
the other thing is I don't know how to put this.
Okay.
It just feels way too broad. You know, in other movies, it's snakes or it's mice or it's one type of aminal that is attacking everybody. I was waiting for it. But this, because everything could attack you, you kind of felt like, well, what's the use? You might as well just throw up your hands if you don't have a weapon. But by the same token, most of these, one shot and they're dead. I don't understand how the town had like a military presence came in and all this. I'm like, dudes, you can protect that home. That's not too difficult.
You couldn't kill a bear with one shot.
Okay, those would take. Well,
Mountain lion, you probably have to hit twice. Wolves, you'd have to hit a couple of times.
No, that's you, Drew. I could do it.
Okay, you're right. You got to hit shit every time.
Yeah,
No scope 360. I forgot,
every
dude.
friggin' time. Yeah. In fact, usually the aminal will see me coming with the gun.
God, I hope they kill you next time.
And they go, okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving because you're a little too scary. It's true. It's true. I don't make things up.
One shot.
One shot, one kill. That's my motto. All right, so it's time to grade this incredible film experience. Now, I will say, if you watch this alone, like I did, know what you're getting into, because it's not so bad it's good when you're alone. It's more fun if you have a friend there that you can cut up about.
Oh, that counts out everyone that we know.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I give this movie a D. A D. It wasn't quite as much fun as you would have hoped, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen, not by a long shot. But it wasn't compelling stuff. It really wasn't. So,
Could you use a stronger performance from the mountain lion?
Yeah, and some of the aminals just really weren't that scary.
You're a piece of shit.
I was hoping I would catch your attention.
Yeah.
Attention. Alrighty. So that was exciting show back for the 2019 season. here on East Coast Horror Group. Now, we've been pretty quiet for the last month or so, but we have some exciting stuff coming soon to the website. Mike, what's going on at the website right now? I see there's Adam put out something called That Night.
A press release that we received that we wanted to put out there. Go to eastcoasthorrorgroup.com to check that out. Yeah, we got some stuff coming off with Otherworldly Radio. Still in some early stages with some things.
I got that.
But one thing that is confirmed that I want to talk about, I don't care if we're bringing the cat out of the bag, we have to do the Cannibal Killer Clowns on Dope episode.
No!
Yeah.
No!
It's a thing that we have to do.
No, there's no reason for it.
So...
There's no reason. That's just wrong. On
Do I have to watch it a second time?
Yes, you do.
That's fucked, dude. Why would I want to watch it twice in my
I
life?
hate you guys so much. That's not going to
I sent
happen.
you a
Rich, are you in on this
it's in
too?
that one file on the server.
Oh, damn it.
But anyway,
God, I hate you guys.
This
Go
is so
get it.
awful, dude.
watch it, and it's gonna. I foresee this being like more of a detention, more of a round table. I'd like to have a discussion on the film.
Let's have a great one.
I've tried to find them on Facebook, but I can't seem to do it.
Really?
Well, they're probably in hiding. They put that out.
Hiding.
Like, yeah, I don't want anybody
Not
to
their
know.
name that they used as director. I don't know. I wanted to do that. I wanted to make a big thing, but so we got to figure out who's going to be down for that episode and what we're going to do for that.
Can I not come? Am I allowed to not be involved?
Oh, God.
What do you mean?
I don't want to be at this. I don't want to watch this movie. At all.
That you have to.
Rich,
So
are
you have
you
to
in
watch
on
it in
this?
VR, bro.
Is Rich in on this?
I don't know if Rich is on this. I don't know who is.
I'm sure Rich has seen worse. Maybe not.
Rich is definitely sleeping.
Yeah,
So-
he's asleep.
Rich is
I'm not completely asleep. I just wait until I'm halfway there and I'm only talking when necessary.
All right. Well, I think that's it for tonight. Remember, you can reach each of us at our email, eastcoasthg@gmail.com. We hope that you had a fun and safe holiday season. And hang in there until our next show.
Hang in there.
And here's, we got a new closing to the show. Remember, as John, I know. And remember, as John Carpenter once said, horror is a reaction, not a genre. Huh? Huh?
In your face.
There it is.
That's probably for
East
any of
Coast Horror Group.
Fuck that.
That's it, baby. That's it for the show. It was good, except for Drew, of course.
Fuck. I always try, Daddy.
I can't wait to fuck your feet.
I can't wait to fuck your feet.
Book me.
I'm always down for a good penis fest.
Fuck you, Drew.
Red box. Put it in your butt box.
That's it, baby.